It look like we're good here now. Welcome to YAAD VIBEZ for another edition for late night show. YAAD is supporting YAAD is the people's channel. Yeah, we're there. Everyone check out the aftermath hour going with Melissa. You see what I say? Enough people never take heed. This one come deadly. So right now we want to scour internet and really see what going on, you know? See what was affected, who's affected. So I play one video where me did sip on one eye side where I get hit the hardest today. Alright. I think this video is on my channel too. Want me to do some back end stuff. So pause. Okay, here we go. Alright, so yeah, as I said, we'll go through some video and see what go on all over the place. But before me do that, I want to say something. Now is the time for seeing if I want to do that jump around for these politicians on both sides. Now we are going to see if them all come out in a field for UNO. How much we are going to hear one PNP, or we are going to hear show and one POW. Let's see how quick them are going to come. Make them know say a clock is ticking. People might wait. How long them service are going to come up. How long repairs, how much tree are going to move. Now is a time where people have got to be careful because enough criminal about here now. Because enough place not going to have power. Water. So it's going to be a whole long rebuilding process. But with their feet, I have to call out the nonsense. So we're going to play and see what I'm going so far. And the most impactful place. So let's see what TV just say first before we go to the international news. Big up yourself wherever you're from, wherever you watch from. You're there on the night shift. Whether you're the security, you're there Amazon warehouse, you're there Jamaica, you're the watchman, you're doctor, lawyer, teacher, whatever your profession is, carpenter, fireman, healthcare, urgent response, yeah, big up yourself. Alright, let's see what we have now. Enough people never take them things serious, you know, and be a conspiracy theorist. You have too much idiot with platforms now. I tell people be a nonsense in Jamaica. So that has a growing trend.
Made landfall. The center is still
Surveys, Evan Thompson says the entire island has now started to feel the effects of Hurricane Melissa. This, he says, is especially for western and southern Jamaica.
We recognize that the system has not yet made landfall. The center is still some distance away from the coastline, just about 70.
Remember this earlier, so this event already passed. As you can see, we did a traffic highlight. We've been all week. So you can see, he already passed, heading towards Cuba at 130 miles per hour, category 4. Start Jamaica at 185 miles per hour. Category 5, Lanny Wheaton to 165, then 150. Then 145 was the last time he hit land Jamaica, then he just gone. So yeah, let's figure our breakdown. Alright, go back up a sorry there.
To 75 just per hour.
So let's go.
Worthy of
I want to see impact them way. What is create.
Hurricane Melissa, power within a number of communities across the island is out. Shamila Pullen reports.
More than 200,000 JPS customers are currently without power across the island. This as Hurricane Melissa continues to make its way to land.
Why is this thing keep freezing up the damn stream, man? Get rid of that.
As of now, we're having outages right across the island as a result of hurricane force winds, and we have some lightning
Okay.
that has impacted our transmission and distribution network. So some customers in several parishes, actually all parishes, are affected, some more than others. As of now, we have maybe about 30-35% of our customers without electricity. That's about 240,000 customers. As of now, the situation is fluid, as persons will experience, some persons will get back their power as our teams continue to hold the system together. However, in St. Elizabeth, Manchester, St. James, and Hanover, we have very high levels of outages as a result of the impact of the hurricane force winds on the transmission and distribution system. So most customers in those four parishes are without power. Other parishes are affected. In fact, all parishes are affected.
The Light and Power Company says the system performed better in eastern parishes.
But over in the east, we have been spared somewhat with St. Thomas, Kingston and St. Andrew, and sections of St. Catherine actually not experiencing outages at all. Those are the parishes that are least affected right now.
The JPS says that crews are monitoring conditions closely and will begin restoration work as soon as it is safe to do so. Meanwhile, the National Water Commission is warning.
Why the fuck is this stream buffering, man? This is something, man. This shit is annoying. I ain't running nothing crazy.
That it may be forced to shut down some water supply systems to protect critical infrastructure. It says the intense rainfall associated with Hurricane Melissa could overwhelm the system in several areas across the island.
What it causes is a lot of turbidity, which is when the water gets too muddy, carries too much silt and debris, and that forces shutdown of the water supply system. The other reality in this case is a lot of breeze, a lot of wind, which comes with the water, causes flooding, and is also causing a disruption in the power supply. Now, yes. So we have this unenviable task of mixing electricity and water because we need electricity in some form to run the pumps, but we are harnessing and distributing water. But it gets to a point where if the electrical equipment is at the risk of flooding, then it could cause significant damage, sometimes irreparable damage. At a time like this, the best and most precautionary step is to shut the system down, and then we safeguard it until the system, in this case, the hurricane passes.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
Less than 50% of JPS customers are currently without electricity. The update came from Energy Minister Daryl Vaz at a press conference earlier today. Our reporter Andrea Chisholm was there and now joins us live. Andrea?
Thank you very much, Kerry. Well, as expected, the electricity grid has been impacted by Hurricane Melissa. 240,000 or 35% of the roughly 700,000 JPS customers have no power. The parishes mainly affected are St. Elizabeth, Manchester, St. James and Hanover. But Energy Minister Daryl Vaz said there is no plan to shut down the grid. He also gave an update on the least affected parishes, and those include Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas and St. Catherine. Most hospitals have electricity except those in Manchester and St. Elizabeth. Minister Vaz also gave this update on the telecommunications sector.
I'll start with Digicel. 26% of mobile network is offline, predominantly due to the widespread loss of power. There's a further 209 sites running batteries. For fiber to home customers, we are seeing 20% customers offline due to no power in their homes. For Flow, I'm happy to say that Liberty Caribbean operators of Flow Jamaica and Liberty Business is committed to playing its part for Jamaica to recover quickly from the inevitable damage following the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Again, with the spectrum that they have received, they will be bringing a new innovation, mobile connectivity via satellite, and facilitates SMS and text messages to areas affected in the aftermath of the storm. So
Alright, but what's it go up in it?
Branspen, St. Thomas. A small band of fishermen defying
and to assess and
As Hurricane Melissa meanders out at sea, fishermen from Branspen in St. Thomas are reeling in a final feast in a pre-storm cooking lime. But as Jamila Maitland reports, the municipal corporation is worried that some residents are not taking the warnings seriously.
roast fish crackle on a grill in Branspen, St. Thomas. A small band of fishermen defying the forecast, firing up their last supper before Hurricane Melissa is expected to make landfall. For these men, neither rain, wind, nor rising sea level can spoil their appetite or vibes.
We have seen it worse than this before, where the water already exceeded and come all the way inland. It's still out there, but we're expecting it to rise. So everybody's in evacuation mode, we're just watching.
Among them is Member of Parliament for Western St. Thomas, James Robertson.
We're with the young people at this time, and they are now ready. They are mobilized now to do whatever is necessary to protect their community.
There was no mandatory evacuation for Branspen as of Monday, October 27. But the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation says the high tides and proximity to homes are alarming.
It's about 10 steps from the house to the sea, because the sea coming in, take away the land and come in. Out of every 50 waves, I guess like 5 touch the house.
As if foaming at the mouth, the threat of Hurricane Melissa is palpable for residents of Branspen, a small coastal community in St. Thomas. Now, residents told us that just last week they were able to walk along the beach comfortably, but now, just by being here, they risk being swept away. Now, while some people have evacuated, others have decided to just wait and see.
We have a boat, we have a engine, we have a lot of things to secure. Yes, sir.
Based on even talking now, the sea looks very rough.
Yeah, normally, all the others are some. The water that reach around the house already. It don't. It don't.
Having brought her children from St. Anne following the initial forecast that Hurricane Melissa was expected to hit central Jamaica.
Because it's a concrete structure, we feel that we would be more safe, but better with the chance it's not our boathouse in St. Anne. Because the sea is behaving real bad.
In the meantime, this warning from the MP.
If you know your community, you know your vulnerability, you need to deal with that as we speak. There are communities like Branspen, these young men can reach safety in less than 5 minutes. Will they be able to get out the elderly? They should move them out now.
Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
And our reporter Dwayne Anderson is in Clarendon and now reports.
My correspondent and I, we've made a judgment call, people. This particular area is the main road that leads to Kemshill and surrounding areas, the Alley Bridge, etc. But we've been driving on this particular road for the better part of about 5 minutes now, and all we can see is water, and it's getting deeper and deeper. So we've decided to make a judgment call. We're not going to risk it any further. because the rain is pounding down. It's getting harder with each passing minute, and the road appears to be flooded as far as the eye can see and as far as we're coming from. So we're going to make a judgment call. This particular area is not that deep, so we're going to turn right here and exit. We'll perhaps return to this community once this weather system subsides. I can count on one hand the number of motor vehicles we've encountered here on the streets of Clarendon this morning. Clearly, a lot of motorists are taking heed and are staying home until this weather system passes. Good. I can perhaps make a guess that most of the people we've seen on the road are perhaps essential.
At least some people take this thing serious and never do a bunch of nonsense. You know what I mean? All type of people I give them one feeling. Mere people are telling me about their feelings as if it's a fact, and them not grow and guide people this. I mean, I said that you can't grow and tell people like things are alright because you feel say I gonna miss and you make it known like it a go happen, and can probably make people not prepare because them take your word as value. Like some people have to open up their mouth, man. Or some of them people are so-called influencer with wrong information. Conspiracies, theorists are telling people nonsense.
Workers are perhaps even curious media workers like myself. The water I'm standing in right now, just above ankle height, it has receded a little bit compared to earlier this morning and even last night where we heard it was above knee height. The weather system is now beginning to pick up again. As you can see, the rain is coming down with a little bit more ferocity. So we do imagine that within a few hours, this area may be flooded to a higher level again, perhaps getting back up to knee height. But another thing to take into consideration, this particular area, the Portland Bight area, parts of Kemsill and the surrounding areas, alley, it is known for crocodiles. So residents have to also be wary of that potential threat. The more the water comes down and go into their habitat and disturb them, we could very well find a situation where they make their way out here onto the streets and into contact with humans. Reporting from Kemsill in Clarendon, I'm Dwayne Anderson for TVJ News.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Yeah, that have to look up alligator too. Not only thief and robber them kind of place now they have light for years, for 6 months to a year, guarantee that shit. No running water for a long while. So, on top of all what people have to deal with them, have to deal with the criminal them too. So, people have to stay safe.
Now, ahead of the arrival of Hurricane Melissa on Monday, volunteers from Global Empowerment Missions in South Florida sent packaging aid boxes for Jamaica. Hurricane Melissa is expected to make landfall today. The aid boxes with non-perishable food items and other donations will be delivered to the island once convenient.
I hope them reach the right people. I mean, you could curb people, them if you hand them want to go. Take it, give their friends and family when I need it. I really hope so.
Conditions are safe. And as the outer bands of Hurricane Melissa continues to affect sections of the island, thieves have struck again, this time in Boscobel, St. Mary. TVJ News understands that the culprits forced their way into a bar, smashed.
See it? Couldn't even done talk good and the criminal them start. It's like people don't fall. It's an opportunity for some of them nasty youth boy. I want to them, man.
Windows and making off with more than $600,000 worth of alcohol. The Aracobesa police were alerted and an investigation is now underway. In the meantime, residents are expressing frustration at the Jamaica Public Service for not replacing a defective light pole in the area. The pole eventually gave way, leaving several homes without electricity.
Can't bet some months that I go take for fix now, you know. Remember back in Jamaica when Ivan did the will slash down that. And that category 4, me can't just imagine now in a Jamaica. Months it'll take no fee to get back them light.
And residents are warning motorists and unsuspecting individuals to avoid the Grand Spend Gully in St. Andrew. Our reporter Janella Perseus visited the area earlier and filed this report.
Okay, so we are currently in Grand Spend. This is what the gully looks like now, and it is just a little before 8 a.m. And this is what it looks like now. From all indications, you can tell that the water is rising. Blue, let's walk over here. The water is rising here.
Yeah, this is look like I did about 12:30. Anyway, for all the new people, them, this is YAAD Vibes. Welcome. YAAD is supporting YAAD is. Feel free to get in our chat and have a conversation with you. Peace.
Here at the Grand Spen Gully. And it is one of these places that people or that motorists often use. But as we speak, it is not safe to do so. We met a gentleman from Grand Spen. His name is Mr. Chin. Now, Mr. Chin.
Mr. Chin, you're Chinese, black man with Chinese.
I saw you telling a motorist to turn back. Do you find that a lot of people are still trying to drive?
You have a lot of people try to pass through, think them can pass, but them cannot pass through. Because the water is not normal right now at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. So you've been living in Grand Spen for how long?
For about 30 odd years.
30 odd years. Tell me what happens when, you know, it becomes impossible here.
When it comes, nothing can pass, not even a trailer can pass, nothing.
Tell them, Mr. Chin.
Anything come across, the water, the up here, sir. The water up on the roadside.
All the way up to there?
Yeah, right up here.
Okay.
I guarantee that should reach it by 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock today.
Blue, just show them where he says that the water goes up to. So it moves from there and it comes onto the roadside.
Yeah, way up on the road.
Now, we have a Category 5 hurricane that will make landfall in the coming hours. How do you feel about, you know, what is likely to happen and pretty much, you know...
I hope nothing not happen. We just have to give God thanks. I hope you...
Is the streamer freeze? Or it go smooth? Don't tell me this shit has start like a fucker again. It is freezing.
The best. Yeah.
Now, whole heap of people live on the gully bank. Have they been preparing for the storm?
Most of them say storm not come, but we have to just watch to see the outcome.
So pretty much you won't be sleeping tonight?
No, we can't sleep now because we have to outside that try to help the two local people and I want a strength. So, yeah.
Did you sleep last night because it was very windy, you know?
Yeah, me take a look at sleep, but me jump up and walk the tree outside and still now, me still outside. Yeah.
Alright, Mr. Chin, go on do your thing. Oh boy, stream gone back to running slow. I don't know what to do. I don't see no possible reason why I should ever have glitch. Let me refresh something here. Sorry if I get a glitch. I don't know what happens. But I say we'll go through tonight and see all our damages all over YouTube tonight. We in these YouTube streets tonight. We're in this damn internet that stop fuck up. It's not the internet. GPU have power. So why YouTube? YouTube must have a problem or something. Alright, let's see. Hopefully in our glitch again. Let's see.
And we now head to Manchester to our reporter Romardo Lyons with the latest.
Unrelenting rain and powerful winds. That's the order of the day in Mandeville, Manchester. And as you can see along this roadway, you don't need to be told, it has been transformed into a lake. This is the road that leads to the Mandeville Regional Hospital. Now, this vehicle has been stuck here for about 3 to 4 hours. The driver nowhere to be found, but the police have been patrolling the area. Now, the Southern Regional Health Authority has since issued an advisory to the public. It reads, the roadway to the front to the front gate of the Mandeville Regional Hospital is flooded, and alternate access can be gained through the gate at Hargreaves Avenue at Cecil Charlton Hall. And more signs of damage. Right now we're at the Mandeville Plaza, and as you can see, fallen trees. Not one, but two. And this one right here is very massive. It's a large tree. It shows the power, or the force of the wind rather. Over here we have some vehicles parked for shelter, but I'm not sure if that will be much protection for them.
Yeah, right now we're at the Manchester School, and we go open to our center because there is no bus to our center. And the next man come up, you call and go away because no food is not here. No drinking water. So there's two of us left here right now. And hopefully many more will come after the breeze cool down, you know? You understand? But right now, nothing there for nobody. Nobody come right now, no bedding, no blanket, nothing there. We just need some chair and something else to make some bed, you know?
We'll continue to monitor the situation here in Mandeville, Manchester. I mean, we may...
Oh boy, I can't ever stop the stream, eh? Again. Fuck, man. Don't tell me I have to restart the stream again. One minute you say stream healthy, then it's a buffer. What could be the fucking reason? Ah, boy, I have to call it a night. No, you're fucking excellent again. Alright, let's try this. See if this shit glitch again means fuck it.
May have to head to safety for a while for now, as things are starting to get more hectic. But I'll let you know when I have any updates. For now, it's back to you in studio.
And news just in, Principal Director of the Met Service, Evan Thompson, has confirmed that Hurricane Melissa has made landfall in Jamaica. Currently, areas within St. Elizabeth are facing the brunt of the Category 5 hurricane. Worry in sections of Berrydale, Portland this afternoon as persistent rainfall.
Alright, we're back in motion.
Continues to pelt the parish. Our reporter Anthony Lugg filed this report.
Rafts are clinging on to dear life in the Rio Grande, in the community of Berrydale here in East Portland. The river is raging at this time as constant rainfall continues to pelt this parish. Now I'm going to ask my videographer to walk with me as I show you what's happening. Now, earlier this morning, the water here, this is how far it came. That's where the water is now. But I must tell you that the water came all the way to here. It's a testament of the amount of rainfall being felt here in the parish of Portland.
Well, I feel nervous, but we button down, Yeah, we button down and we're just waiting for the best, and I expect nothing bad to come out of this hurricane.
So just
why would you not expect nothing bad when you see what happened in a DR Haiti right before? Why? And it to come way worse. Like when I use common sense again.
Just across the river is another community. On a typical day, residents would use the raft that are lined along here to make their way in and out of the community. But with the river now raging, they're unable to do so. I've been speaking with residents on this side of the community, and they say the others on that side are trapped.
There's a lot of people over there who can't come cross neither. Yeah, they're in a difficulty, so they would need little assistance, food stuff and stuff like that.
You're in contact with anybody over there from Marine or from yesterday?
No, we can't get to call them because them power run out,
Reporting from Berrydale in Portland, I'm Anthony Lugg for TVJ News.
Thank you, Anthony. Now, just before we head to a quick break, a few videos from our friends on social media. Our first video comes from Southfield, St. Elizabeth. Here we see heavy rain associated with intense winds happening.
Damn. Shit was real.
And as we said earlier, Hurricane Melissa has made landfall, and so the winds are picking up.
Well, Anna.
Our next video comes from Jackson in St. Andrew. Here we are seeing minor land slippage.
No, it's a food price I go through your roof, you know. Enough of them wicked people I got triple all in price for no reason at all. I wish they couldn't get charged.
We're using this opportunity to encourage residents to stay inside. Here we have a resident pointing out the extent of the landslide. And then over in Savannah Lamar, this video is coming from Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland, where we're definitely seeing intense winds and heavy rains happening.
Shit crazy. 300 kilometers per hour.
And for those of you just tuning in, Hurricane Melissa has made landfall. Where now our final video comes from Mandeville, Manchester, where they are experiencing rain and winds are definitely intensifying.
Roof the solid.
All right, keep sending those videos to our WhatsApp number.
All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's move further up in anything nearer to Wagwan. Telecom give latest update. Let's see latest for your phone, because enough people can't reach them people at Jamaica.
We have some updates from our telecoms providers. I'm going to read you this press release from Flow Jamaica. It says that 72% of its mobile customers have access to connectivity despite power challenges being experienced with some of its mobile sites. Again, that is from Flow. It says 72% of its mobile customers have access to connectivity despite power challenges being experienced. Several Flow mobile sites are now dependent on backup power provided via generators deployed ahead of the storm. As was anticipated, the areas of highest impact for Flow were St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Trelawney, and St. James, and the areas experiencing the lowest impact from the storm were Kingston, St. Thomas, St. Andrew, and Clarendon. As far as its fixed network is concerned, it says only 22% of its fiber internet customers are currently registering online and able to access services. Now, this, according to Flow, is mostly based on limited residential power availability across the majority of the island. As for Digicel says it is still assessing the outage across the island and will have a press briefing tomorrow. I also want to give you another update, and it is regarding the essential public service offices. And this release is from the government of Jamaica. It says the government of Jamaica is advising the public that all non-essential government offices will remain closed until further notice as the country continues to prepare, as the country reels from the impact of Hurricane Melissa. The directive is an extension of earlier precautionary measures taken to close non-essential government offices ahead of the system as part of the national emergency readiness posture.
All right. There you go with the internet and the cell phone and whatnot.
We have some up.
So if you're not hear from your people, them, it's more than likely them not no service. So don't over worry yourself and fret too much, you know. Bumble upon them flood on. Alright.
St. Elizabeth is reeling from the impact of the catastrophic hurricane. Our correspondent Rodney Longmore filed this report.
Why some of them flooding in normal, we go to them next.
It made landfall sometime after 12 today.
Excuse me.
I'm based in Santa Cruz, where I'm telling you, it's so heavy. We have no chance of seeing outside. The whole place is white, trees down.
Wow.
I get a lot of reports that several houses, roof of houses are gone, flooding in the burnt down housing scheme. I can just imagine there's water going down to New River. I was trying to speak.
Damn, this a place I not good again.
Speak to some persons from New River yesterday, telling them to leave. They are saying that they think they'll be okay because they don't think it.
I don't decide what I understand. Why would you think you would be okay when you see how Haiti flooded and Dominican Republic at a lesser hurricane? Why we not use common sense?
As hard as 2010, which is the worst one they have ever seen, but this one look like it's gonna do a lot of damage in this area. The Glencoe housing scheme, my friend called me that 2 sections of his house are gone. The whole of his house are leaking. A lot of persons are now scared, and we're having heavy winds, rains, everything. I can't give you a report on the shelters in the area nor anything from the parish. I'm trying to get in touch with the mayor.
Wow, that's
but
cool.
I can't. I get some pictures from the Black River area where they're saying the Black River routes to the Black River Hospital are blocked, and persons are even staying at the Black River police station.
If you can hit the like button there for we. This is YAAD supporting YAAD's channel, YAAD Vibes, the people's channel. Get more people in a conversation in an algorithm. Pick up yourself wherever you're listening from. I hope everything you're safe and your loved ones are safe. Yeah. Alright, keep going.
There are a lot of chaotic move in the St. Elizabeth area. I can just imagine some of the places, even on the south side and things like that. Treasure Beach. Those should be very, 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 very terrible at this moment. I'm even getting some calls from some of my friends in Manchester saying it seems like from yesterday the storm had not left that area. They are having it real hard. Right now, where I am, some water is coming in through the doors and something like that, but not as hard as many people else would have it. But the Santa Cruz area is getting it very terrible at this moment.
Bomba.
That was our correspondent Rodney Longmore, and of course tomorrow we are hoping.
You guys hear from your family in Jamaica? Man, you see what I go on?
To join him again to get more of the aftermath. Now, still in St. Elizabeth, the Black River police station has been damaged. We got videos of the devastation caused by severe flooding. This was happening even as the police were out in their numbers, ensuring the safety of citizens. We spoke with the commanding officer for the St. Elizabeth Division, Superintendent Coleridge Mintu.
I know it's a time Jamaica need police because criminal them go out too, with no light and all type of something. Yeah.
At current, a number of particularly the glass windows to the stations have been broken, which has now compromised the building to some extent and the contents thereof. We are now experiencing severe weather conditions. We have also have a number of residents living in and around this area that their homes were damaged and they have come to seek refuge. We are prioritizing the safety of every person, including those who came, or police officers, and certainly at this location where we have prisoners in custody. And so the priority at this time is to ensure that no life is lost at this facility. A number of the roads are now impassable and blocked across the parish. Certainly the main road that leads to the Black River Hospital is totally blocked.
we are gonna see how long them politicians, yeah, is gonna take them to fix them and clear them road, yeah. Especially in a case where people are gonna have emergency and people are get sick and whatnot. Them things need to move quick, just like how them did out to try get vote during election time and campaign. That's how we want them to move quick.
We've just looked and seen a vehicle washed along the road in front of the stations. A number of roofs around this area have been lifted totally. The gate to the station is damaged. A number of the vehicles on the property are damaged. And so we're continuing to monitor at this time. Again, our number one priority at this time is to ensure the safety of all the persons who are at this facility, to include our prisoners in custody, our police officers, as well as the citizens who have sought refuge at this location.
All right, so thank you for your services. All right, we want to see them heavy flooding
St.
there.
Elizabeth is reeling.
Hold on, man. We're big flooding there with this. Okay, that one.
Let us take in some of the happenings in Kingston as we
Hurricane Melissa leave trail of destruction.
would have reported. We also experienced quite a. We also experienced.
All right, go on up in the moment what we see. Go on.
Kirk Wright with our report.
In Waterhouse, along the gully bank, danger. Huge sections of the wall along the Sandy Gully collapsed.
Wall.
Like Kimon Fender were on edge.
Especially now that I have a 4-year-old, and with this Category 5 hurricane that is coming, I see whereas there's a possibility that the gully may give way. And growing up, I've experienced burial, I've experienced Ivan, and the gully was still standing in all honesty, but this is the worst that we have seen it.
Ms. Fender says she did not choose to live there.
In all honesty, it's my mom's home, and then I came here when I was about 6 years old, and you know what it is that your mom and your father provide. We just decided that, okay, then we're just going to build on top of it and see how best we can make things happen for us.
Community activist Chris Constantine says the situation has existed for approximately 5 years and that their Member of Parliament, Anthony Hilton, has been trying to get the authorities to fix it.
He inspected the thing, he engaged the National Water Commission and NWA. NWA at the time, I guess they said they couldn't do anything because they didn't have any funds. National Water Commission, they...
The fuck they mean they don't have no funds in 2020 in Jamaica? With all the technology and resources, I can't understand when I hear about Jamaica and no funds. More big hotel they have, make more billions of dollars every year with a suck out Jamaica. No funds. And you know, none of them at home up their hotel door if you let in some of the people who need help.
Came out and they repaired the sewer line because it was broken and the stench was really high.
Let me ask you, what do you think prevented it from being repaired?
I don't know, it seemed like there was some kind of delay within the agencies, and there was an issue that I can remember with NWA that they said they didn't have any funds that were allocated to fix the gully at the time, yeah? And since then, it has been just deteriorating over a sustained period of time. The plates were actually close up to which part they were separated from until some more rain came and washed the plates further down the stream.
Over in McGregor Gully, just before Hurricane Melissa made landfall, a feast was about to happen. It's one of the communities in the corporate area notorious for flooding, and with that, last-minute preparation.
Reporting live from front page, McGregor Gully. We are awaiting Melissa.
In Seaview Gardens, another community prone to flooding, entertainers strut their stuff on the street corner, creating a vibe before the hurricane. A resident showed us a draining.
Never a dull moment to celebrate and drink liquor, eh? Everything is a celebration in Jamaica. I take nothing serious.
Phase 1 that often floods and says some of the flooding is caused by humans.
The reason for the people and some part of here what we call it soak away land, they dump it up And that is the problem. Because when the sea level rise there, it go over that. And it have a rise where the water stop. So the people them dump it up.
Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
Oh, alright. Like a one problem cause that.
We go now to the scenes from Clarendon, which has also taken a battering
Yeah,
from
Clarendon,
Hurricane Melissa. Our reporter Dwayne Anderson is in the parish.
My correspondent and I, we've made a judgment call, people. This particular area is the main road that leads to Kemshill and surrounding areas, the Alley Bridge, etc. But we've been driving on this particular road for the better part of about 5 minutes now, and all we can see is water, and it's getting deeper and deeper. So we've decided to make a judgment call. We're not going to risk it any further because the rain is pounding down. It's getting harder with each passing minute, and the road appears to be flooded as far as the eye can see and as far as we're coming from. So we're going to make a judgment call. This particular area is not that deep, so we're going to turn right here and exit. We'll perhaps return to this community once this weather system subsides. It does not appear to be very smart to go much further given the extent of flooding. We are
I think we watched this already.
Parts of the parish today, and I note several downed power lines, several downed utility poles, and if you're down there in the south of Clarendon, especially in Rocky Point and Portland Cottage and Mitchelltown, you're probably not going to be wanting to hear that sort of news because you remember burial just over a year ago where when those lines went down, you went without electricity for the better part of a month, really. But I counted about 6 or 7 down power lines, so I can appreciate why it is difficult for the JPS to put power in the homes of its customers.
Them need to start find more ways to run this power line underground to me. 2025 we know.
Here in Clarendon. But let me just take you a little bit up to the north and then work our way back down to the south and tell you about some of the real impact on the parish here today from this very destructive weather system. So far up in the north, I must admit I've not yet gone up into the north. Most of my work today was in the south and central part. But from the north, we've noted that there's some damage to the Edwin Allen High School building there. Its roof was damaged. We've also been told by the Works Minister, who is MP for North Central Clarendon up there. He has also indicated that a couple of culverts up there, they've been dislocated. They've been washed away by the weather system. And as you make your way down into the central part of the country, of the parish, down into the southern part of the parish, that's where you come up on the flooding and the damage to housing infrastructure and downed trees. We're talking about several homes we've seen have lost multiple trees, big trees. We're talking about decades-old trees, the mango trees, fruit trees, all sorts of stuff. And we've noted homes that have lost roof. We've also noticed down here in the southern part, the Veer Technical High School, one particular building down there has lost a section of its roof. And it is worth noting that that particular high school is being used as a shelter here in the parish. In fact, is the most popular shelter right now in the parish. Last check we had yesterday, about 300
so I couldn't just say high school name.
That shelter. But that particular part of the building that we noted this morning that was damaged is not an area that is being used as shelter. So that must also be noted. And let me now tell you a little bit now and tell our viewers a little bit about the flooding in the area. Halsall, which is a pretty problematic area, it has experienced some of the most flooding we've noticed today. When I was on the road and I saw some residents from the area, scores of them were flooded out. In fact, it was so bad that several of them were actually on the road foraging, basically, and that's my word, foraging through the waste of their neighbors to try to find potential bedding because they've been displaced. So they are having it pretty tough and it's pretty desperate. I interviewed some of them and they said, listen, we have no food, our babies have nowhere to sleep. So it's pretty tough. But I'll be making my way up there in the north too.
I mean, it's enough of people them now have no, what you call it? Never no cat in a place with them there, all them slackness say. Government that tell the people them evacuate and you know nothing. Okay, where you added them and the brother say.
We now go to the diaspora where our reporter Deirdre Thomas spoke with some Jamaicans who have been worried about their family members back home.
There's a quiet kind of tension here in New York City. Jamaicans are worried, watching, waiting and praying as Hurricane Melissa bears down on the island.
I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little bit worried, but I'm also a little bit hopeful because, you know, over the years, we've always heard we're getting a storm, and God has some way always, you know, protected us.
Have you spoken to your family since?
Yes, I was not so long on the phone. Thankfully, they still have electricity and still have mobile services. So yes.
We as Jamaican, we always survive. You know, we always, you know, overcome any adversity. So yeah.
We have been receiving a few calls here at the consulate from persons who are, you know, trying to find out what it is that is going on. Maybe they're not able to reach their relatives. I'm not sure if in their area the network is down, but we have gotten a few calls. But most of what we have been getting are people who are a little bit anxious.
But inside the Jamaica consulate in Manhattan, New York, that tension has, however, turned into action. Community Relations Officer Christopher Benjamin says a high-level meeting was called on Monday.
Ambassador Anderson in Washington convened a meeting of all the consulates and honorary consuls here in the United States so that we can start our planning. And we will be having a bigger meeting online with various community members to outline the
scammers them I go out too. We're gonna try do all type of manner of evil and scam to try rob people and talk about donation online. So that's one thing to get prepared for. I think the government have one where they must run, but you know you can't even trust them either. But odpem.org.jm, that's the official Jamaican website where you can find shelter and donate and all type of stuff. So know where your money is going.
The strategies that we are employing to try and get the collection of aid and supplies going forward.
However, Mr. Benjamin says the true response will depend on what Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says is needed.
When we look at the playbook that we used for Hurricane Beryl last year, the government had indicated that we didn't need food. What we needed were like first aid supplies.
So this chat, when I feed in this, most of this chat is coming from See Jamaica channel. Well, I see where people them say as we watching. So this is not from my chat.
Supplies, tools, agricultural tools, tents, tarpaulins, and things like that. So that's the messaging that we are going to be putting out there. And of course, if persons want to make donations of cash, that is always acceptable, and we will be taking that.
He added that details will soon be released on how Jamaicans abroad can contribute, whether through drop-off points or verified online portals, even from miles away.
General to the southeastern United States. And sir, before we get into what you are doing, your own reactions based on what you have seen so far.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to extend my sympathies to the families and the businesses that have been impacted. Clearly, there's major damage. We worked actively on Hurricane Beryl last year, mobilized the community, and even though it barely brushed, we had billions of dollars of damage that affected Jamaica. And so we know now, as a Category 5 with winds over 185 miles an hour, and based on the pictures we're seeing, we know there's a lot of work to be done, and we stand ready to support the efforts to provide recovery for Jamaica.
Talk to us about how you have been working with other groups to mobilize that help that you said that we really need at this point.
All right, from Melissa became a developing system. Members of the community started to volunteer, as we did in Hurricane Beryl, and we worked with organizations.
All right, anybody affected for you, get in the chat, get in the comment if you're watching the replay, you know?
Such as food.
Give as much information as you can in a comment in case somebody see the video and they can get some type of help or whatever. Get in the comments.
Food for the poor, and the other organization, Global Empowerment Mission, just helping them to pack containers, relief kits, just being on alert for the impending system. And so we have also been identified a number of drop-off points in a number of cities, highly.
What the people them who responsible for distribute them thing, you know, start rabbit and give people who don't need it, you know. And their friends and families and all type of something. Please no scamming on the relief people them in Jamaica.
Populated cities with Jamaicans, Miramar, Lauderhill, Lauderdale Lakes, Miami-Dade, we have all identified a number of drop-off points. So using the list from ODPEM, we will start collecting items from as early as this week to position to provide to Jamaica. And in addition to that, we have been communicating, doing several interviews on major networks, just pleading for help for Jamaica. And, you know, we're using the website supportjamaica.gov.jm.
Yeah, use the correct website. Don't watch out for scammers if you know help out. It's one of the official Jamaican website. odpem.org.jm. Or give people directly.
And we've gotten a lot of very good support from the major networks, the BBCs, the ABCs, CBS of the world, and they've been supporting. And we have had...
We never hear about the hotel in Jamaica support yet.
A number of people from the community, hundreds so far have volunteered, and a number of institutions have called. They're calling around the clock from morning to night, saying they are willing to set up activities to support the relief and the recovery efforts back in Jamaica. I can say the efforts of the diaspora is alive and well, and we are working with the diaspora once again to support Jamaica land we love.
Talk to us about the importance of getting the diaspora involved in the recovery.
Well, you know, as Jamaicans, we want to get involved. We want to be a part of what's taking place. So we're not forcing anybody. People are calling. They want to help. It's a natural passion.
That's good, because before hurricane, me I hear people talk about, I know people are calling and beg, and I hope they're not calling and beg me, and all type of something. So it's good that people will want to help without have to get asked, you know.
That is there, and so what we're doing is channeling that energy, and we have given persons basically 3 ways that they can participate. 1, they can come down to one of the major organizations to volunteer their time. 2, they can provide a monetary contribution, or 3, they can provide items to one of the drop-off points. And 4, they can use Amazon and just order the items and deliver it to one of the organizations, so we have it ready to send to Jamaica. So we have given our diaspora members several options and worked with them. We have had prayer sessions with the community, just praying for Jamaica. And we have also involved the community leaders, so they are part of some of the actions that we're taking, because our people want to be a part of the solutions. They want to be a part of the recovery of Jamaica. They did it in Beryl. In fact, it was Global Empowerment Mission, I believe. Within 2 days of the hurricane, there was relief on the ground. And we had tarps, we had generators, we had relief kits, and, you know.
My only question is, I hope these things reach the people when need it, and no backdooring scam now go on when man take it their family and friends and people who don't need it, and who are going to take them thing and sell it. Them thing need to be monitored and make sure people are get them thing. We need some accountability.
Working closely with the relevant authorities, you know, we are able to make that happen and to provide the relevant needs of the community. We know it is going to be a long road ahead, and so the appeal has been very strong, just asking the community to be there for us, and they have answered the call.
So I suppose now it's just a matter of waiting for the airports rather to open and to just coordinate all the efforts, because as you would have mentioned, you have several sites that you have now opened.
People have got to be careful with the drinking water, to call them water, yeah, go sneak in a real water.
Where you will be taking in these donations.
That's correct. And I want to give a big shout out to Hard Rock, the Hard Rock Guitar Hotel right here in Florida. Listen, they have put up the Jamaica colors tonight, and the Jamaicans all over Florida are celebrating. They're sharing the colors. It's a little encouragement after seeing the battering we took today with Hurricane Melissa. You know, despite the challenges, you know, we are a country of resilience. We look about with all we know the road ahead is not going to be easy. So we're calling out to the international community to support our efforts. But we know that we will overcome as a people. And, you know, again, I thank all the persons who have been joining in the effort so far. And we look forward to continuing the work as
Basketball Association,
Alright.
the NBA team.
Where we at?
Severe flooding was reported in sections of St. Anne. Shamela Pullen has our story.
A river on the border of St. Anne and Clarendon has overflowed its banks, inundating yards and causing widespread flooding that has left several communities cut off. The main roads into Cave Valley and Union Town are now impassable, with flood waters completely submerging sections of the roadway. Residents remain marooned in their homes as conditions continue to worsen.
Union Town is actually in Clarendon, but the river starts in Clarendon and runs down to a culminates and settles right there in Cave Valley. We anticipate that the area will be flooded, and from what I gather, it has already flooded, which is normal. So people are aware to stay away from that area. And the only thing we can say in that area is let it dry out.
Mayor of St. Anne's Bay, Michael Belnavy, says the flooding is linked to the natural terrain of the area rather than poor drain maintenance, making the situation difficult to control.
There's nothing that you can do as far as drain cleaning to mitigate against that particular episode. So it is one of those episodes where you just hope for the best, watch it, and as soon as it is completed, analyze it, see how, make sure that there are no damages are minimized, and at the same time you work with the individuals who may have got dislocated because the waters will rise up to the level of some business people, homes, those places that have agricultural farms.
Authorities are closely monitoring the situation and will have to wait for water levels to recede before road access can be restored. In the meantime, adequate supplies have been secured for residents sheltering in emergency facilities.
Yo, look how water up on the road
Across the parish.
What we have done is we usually give these items out once we get a count as to how many people are in the shelters. Last night, we give supplies to the Orchard Center and other centers across the parish with mats and towel blankets, toilet paper and so on, napkins, and we have provided some semblance of food. I know this.
Okay. We want to soon hear what people must say if them resources are reach them. Fisherman or them are days ago. We watched those already on last night's stream. Okay, we never see what going on in Manchester.
Rainfall in Manchester has been consistent since Sunday, but today things took a turn for the worse. The damage is evident across several communities. Romardo Lyons is in the parish and filed this report.
Wind beating Mandeville terrain, falling items after each slap. The block of roadway is unrecognizable.
The scene at the Manchester Parish Council spells disconnectivity. 2 poles are down over here, and right here, an entanglement of wires from many different directions.
Disconnection but not redirection. Reduced visibility. And over in Ward Avenue, firefighters fighting floodwaters. Loss of life averted as residents rescued from a flooded property. And this property on Greenvale Road flooded since Monday. Brown murky water threatening to rise. Here, a car drenched, motionless, abandoned.
You don't need to be told. It has been transformed into a lake. This is the road that leads to the Mandeville Regional Hospital. Now, this vehicle has been stuck here for about 3 to 4 hours. The driver nowhere to be found, but the police have been patrolling the area. Now, the Southern Regional Health Authority has since issued an advisory to the public. It reads, the roadway to the front gate of the Mandeville Regional Hospital is flooded and alternate access can be gained through the gate at Hargreaves Avenue at Cecil Charlton Hall. And more signs of damage. Right now we are at the Mandeville Plaza, and as you can see, fallen trees. Not one, but 2. And this one right here is very massive. It's a large tree. It shows the power or the force of the wind rather. Over here we have some vehicles parked for shelter, but I'm not sure if that will be much protection for them. We stumbled upon this lone soldier who said he was out to get some food.
Yeah, right now we're at the Manchester school and
not easy, you never hear say hurricane to get your food early. And then if something happen to you, you put the emergency worker them at risk to come for you.
we go walk into our centre because there is no bus in our centre. And the next man come up, you call and go away because no food is not here. No drinking water. So there's 2 of us left here right now. And hopefully many more will come after the breeze cool down, you know? You understand? But right now, nothing there for nobody. Everybody come right now, no bedding, no blanket, nothing there. We just need some chair and something and make some bed, you know?
Another here unwilling to speak. No, this is as far as we were willing to go on this road.
This is a turn off from Main Street, but it's more like Main River.
Close by, a flow office taking flow to another level.
Oh.
Every single vehicle parked right here on the property is submerged. Look at this view.
If these are service vehicles, recovery work regarding reception may take a while. You know what else may take a while? Rebuilding for farmers in central Jamaica yet again.
Yeah, you know the carrot, I might save a little guy young. And the lettuce, you know that I got butter same way. Pop chai, eat butter already. Pop chai butter already. You know the tomato, looking same way like when you see this here, so. Eat butter already to me, brother.
Look for food price, jack up 300%. We used to pay $100 a pound for it, cost 300.
Butter already. This in front of my house here, me just get started to pick it. I mean what I'm about right now.
Harder and harder for things expensive. And the biggest impact on farming right now, you can't get nobody for work. And the farming material, very expensive. Very expensive. So it's just rougher and rougher every time you have to go back and start all over. So I hit what I face right now.
Ramarda Lyons, TVJ News.
Thank you so much, Ramarda.
Well, excuse me.
We now are joined by the Director of Corporate Communications at the Jamaica Public Service, Winsome Callum, with the latest from that sector. Winsome, thank you so much for joining us. Let's just get straight to it. What is the latest? How much percentage of your customers is now without power? What percentage, rather?
Most of our customers are now without power, Janella. This was a really, really challenging, very, very powerful hurricane. I thank God that it didn't go through the center of the island as had been originally predicted. Right now, as we speak, we have about 75% of our customers who are without electricity. Most of these customers who are without electricity are in the central and western parishes. We're talking about St. Elizabeth. At one point, St. Elizabeth was entirely, completely in darkness. We also have Trelawney and Westmoreland and St. James. Those are the 4 most badly impacted parishes that were without electricity, that have been without electricity. In some cases, the entire parish without electricity. The parishes of St. Thomas, Kingston and St. Andrew, Portmore and some sections of St. Catherine have been the least impacted. So while you have pockets of outages in these parishes, most of these areas are still with electricity, and we give God thanks for that. The grid actually did hold up. We really have to, give kudos and commendations to the JPS team that fought valiantly to prevent a complete total grid shutdown. But right now we are looking at about 510,000, approximately 510,000 customers who are without electricity, and that's from a total of about 700,000 customers, just under 700,000. So most of our done damage assessment, that's going to take days and will begin only after we get the all clear from ADPEM and the Met Office. But right now, what we're looking at is devastation. Most of the electricity grid is down. That's our transmission and distribution network in the central and western end of the island, and from the preliminary look of things, it's going to be a total rebuild. It's going to be a total rebuild.
But this time around, Winsome, as opposed to what happened during Hurricane Beryl, you have help. You have help, you have crews from other countries that have come to assist the JPS in its recovery process. How is that likely to I don't want to say fast track the process, but I think you get where I'm going.
Yes, and I believe that decision to bring in these line workers ahead of the hurricane was a game changer. Last year, you will recall, during that hurricane season, we brought in persons after the event and after damage assessment. But because we did not want to be in that position, what we wanted for our customers was a quick restoration as quickly and as safely as possible. And so earlier this year, we entered into partnerships, contracts, formal contracts with companies in North America, and over the past few days ahead of the hurricane, we brought in over 70 workers from Canada, from the US, and from St. Vincent. So we have persons from the Caribbean as well as North America here on the ground to assist us. And we have over 400 local contractors who are skilled in different areas, along with JPS employees. So our teams have already been deployed. Right now, we have teams on the ground where in the parishes that I mentioned with the least damage, we are working to address situations that could be dangerous. For example, there was a pole across the road close to Arthur Wint Drive. On Arthur Wint Drive, we were able to fix that. So there are situations that require response. So as long as it is safe to do so, we will be responding. But the full response to the devastation that we're seeing in central and western Jamaica, that full response will begin only after damage assessment. And our teams are on the ground. We have boots on the ground, and they are being deployed in the different parishes. So we expect this time around to have faster restoration. We will complete damage assessment more quickly, and we will start the restoration much more quickly.
Okay, so Winsome, before we go, if you can provide us with the...
Sorry. Fuck. So with all of that, you tell me, say, you're going to have fast restoration.
Hurricane...
West, no, we're still...
Oh, catch back that one now we did there. Okay,
We
right.
did not want to be in that position. What we wanted for our customers was quick restoration as quickly and as safely as possible. And so earlier this year, we entered into partnerships, contracts, formal contracts with companies in North America. And over the past few days ahead of the hurricane, we brought in over 70 workers from Canada, from the US, and from St. Vincent. So we have persons from the Caribbean as well as North America here on the ground to assist us. And we have over 400.
Assist with what? Why you not telling people what are they going to assist with so people can know and have like some type of, you know, a lot of people stress so then hear someone get help in that from overseas in a telecommunication, whether in a light, whether to clean up them road. Give people them some assurance of the road them in the look for.
Local contractors who are skilled in different areas, along with JPS employees. So our teams have already been deployed. Right now, we have teams on the ground where in the parishes that I mentioned with the least damage, we are working to address situations that could be dangerous. For example, there was a pole across the road close to Arthur Wint Drive. On Arthur Wint Drive, we were able to fix that. So there are situations that require response. So as long as it is safe to do so, we will be responding. But the full response to the devastation that we're seeing in central and western Jamaica, that full response will begin only after damage assessment. And our teams are on the ground. We have boots on the ground and they are being deployed in the different parishes. So we expect this time around to have faster restoration. We will complete damage assessment more quickly and we will start the restoration much more quickly.
Okay, so Winsome, before we go, if you can provide us with the details on how persons who may want to report something, where can they do it and how can they do it?
Right now, the truth is that we are aware of where the outages are in the parishes that are devastated in terms of the electricity grid being down. In Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Thomas, and sections of St. Catherine, where the damage is not as extensive, we are still trying to respond to those reports, and those reports can be made through our call center. And that's our 24-hour call center that you can get to by calling 888-225-5577 or 888-CALL-JPS. Send in your reports using the JPS mobile app. That's my JPS mobile app. And you can also make reports using our online channels. That's at myjpsonline.com. MyJPS Online. There is also a facility on our website, again, jps.com. What we want you to do, though, is to follow the JPS pages and the JPS WhatsApp channel for regular updates. We will be providing regular updates and we will make sure that we keep you abreast of how we're proceeding, where we're working over the next few days after we get the damage assessment done. You can check in for regular updates on our channels. And of course, we'll be using the media and we really embrace opportunities like this, Janella, to tell our customers what we're up to and what's happening with JPS and their service.
Thank you so much, Winsome. And of course, we will continue to monitor the situation with the restoration of service for the thousands of Jamaicans who are now without power. Thank you so much.
Hey, we need to keep a timeline. We need to keep a timeline with them people, yeah, and see if them really follow through with them as a speedier than last time. Our service will be ready and all them things they keep up with their loved ones and make sure so them are the right thing. We'll keep watching some more local, then we're going to watch the international news to see what them are say about it, because some of them people will lie based on them politics and whatever. So we want to get the unbiased one from overseas also. If you enjoy the stream, please hit the like button, send out more people in here so we can have a discussion.
Hurricane Melissa made landfall on the southwestern end of Jamaica on Tuesday, carrying with her wind speeds of up to 185 miles per hour and approximately 10 inches of rainfall. Widespread flooding and hurricane-force winds were experienced across the island, leading to downed trees, power lines, and other infrastructural damage.
So that we have a downlight pole here, and I saw that you guys promptly came out to, add your cones so people know that they can't pass. Has the hospital been affected in terms of power?
So I am not sure, but in a situation like this, we are going to verify. But the first thing is just to make the area safe, and after the safety, then we will do an assessment. So we're going to isolate as quickly as possible and then try to restore. The hospital is a priority, so that is our first action now after the safety issue.
In the West, hospitals took a beating. In addition to viral footage of Savannah Lamar Public General and Black River hospitals sustaining damage during the storm, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton shared that at least 3 other hospitals were significantly damaged. They are Noel Homes in Hanover, Cornwall Regional in St. James, and Falmouth Hospital in Trelawney. Here's Tufton on the Black River Hospital.
That's the admin area with the roof gone and the impact on the, well, that whole area has been damaged. So, and that's above the A&E, where you see the people standing. We have relocated that area further inland. So where we have people occupying are on the other side, on the top floor. Now, I don't know what's happening now, but up to that point, they were okay. But we had some issues with the generator. Something fell on it, so they're trying to resolve it also.
We go now to an update from reporter Sashana Small, who has been stationed in Manchester.
I've been here since Sunday, and when we arrived, it was raining, and it has been raining since. But of course, on Tuesday morning, as the hurricane inched closer to Jamaica, the rain intensified, accompanied by very strong winds. And it has been that way in Manchester since. Now, I am wearing my raincoat because earlier today we went into the town of Mandeville to see some of the preliminary damage caused by this monstrous Category 5 storm. And what we observed were roads that were flooded out. We saw trees limbed off, and we also saw a lot of light posts that were down. So it is no surprise that Manchester is one of the parishes that has a high rate of power outage as a result of this storm. Now, when we came to Manchester at first, we were at a completely different hotel, but we had to leave because there was a major power outage there, and we came to a different hotel.
Your hotel did that open up the near your empty rooms them to citizens of Jamaica? I don't like to know.
But right now we're currently experiencing another power outage along with
Not your hotel, but you know what I mean, your employer of your hotel.
some flooding. As you can see, it's very windy, and the wind is carrying the water under the doors into the rooms of guests at this hotel, myself included. So the staff had to be very, very active in cleaning up the water that is going into the rooms.
At 3 p.m., Hurricane Melissa, which was moving at 8 miles per hour, weakened to a Category 4 hurricane, a still powerful system. Jamaica has been declared a disaster area, and
Damn, look at that.
residents have been urged to be cautious of crocodiles that may have fled their natural habitats due to flooding. As at Tuesday evening, the eye of Hurricane Melissa has passed Jamaica and is moving towards Cuba. For more updates on Hurricane Melissa, continue to follow us on Facebook, X, TikTok, and Instagram.
And YAAD VIBEZ. More man loses home to Hurricane Melissa. Damn.
So me did strap down the house, me baden the window, me do everything. But the tree was like a 99 to 1 shot. I never see it coming.
Okay, this is like an interview. This is some of my effects what happened.
Well, I'm roving in East Portland, trying to see how far I can get before condition worsen. So I am at the entrance to Zion Hill in Portland. East Portland to be more specific, where this wall, as you can see, has partially collapsed. It has been dislodged from the main portion. None of this may have happened last night into this early this morning.
He's a Rupert.
Through the storm, we hear storm, but the storm we take up our boat and try to protect ourselves as much we can.
We don't hear about no whole dead. Anybody hear about any death? Can you put in a chat if you hear if anybody died from this hurricane in Jamaica?
Yourself, because we now try to face no danger. From which the danger have to move on. But right now, they must say high tide. Well, make we look and see what go on now, because everybody prepare now to move in, just like how say everybody prepare right now. It's the same as because some people gone already. But everybody prepare to move. So if we see high tide come, everybody can move.
What was it like earlier?
Early? Breeze, light we are cut down and all and anything. They know about it. People have tied down the house and everything. And the first part of breeze. It was Saturday. Saturday, Sunday, first breeze come. Sunday, first breeze come.
So you plan to evacuate if it gets worse?
Yeah, we have if we get worse, we have to evacuate. Because we're not staying on that.
And you, sir?
Yeah, man, just the same thing, man. It was terrible last night,
Mm.
Very, very hard. I leave my home, you know.
Oh.
Go by the marina to see if it because I say, boy, it might get worse, you know, so better me move before the worst in a night, and you can't see they have that coming. So we have to secure ourselves. So we say no, it's still not gone as it.
No, the storm is coming possibly about 2 p.m. or beyond.
What you say?
Oh, that I did before. Alright, let me see what international news I said. Hurricane Melissa, Jamaica.
Hello, I'm Ed O'Keefe in northeast at 8. Jason, walk us through what you are
that are in this seaside community here in Portmore.
Now, it hit as a...
You're right that, you know, this did start to pick up, and a lot of those people, too.
Want to see after effects. I just want to hear Jamaica news.
Hurricane Melissa has made landfall in Jamaica as a powerful Category 5 storm with sustained winds of 185 miles per hour. It is the strongest storm to lash the island since record-keeping began 174 years ago. Robert Ray of Fox Weather is on St. Ann Parish in Jamaica tonight. Robert, good evening.
Good evening to you, Brett, and everyone watching from north central Jamaica here as we are taking hurricane force winds coming through after the Category 5 landfall hours ago. 185 miles per hour winds that has tormented the southwest corner of Jamaica, and now it is coming across here, ripping apart into Montego Bay, which is about 50 miles to the west of where we're at, where over 25,000 tourists are stranded in hotels and in peril right now, and you can see these intense winds and driving rain. It feels like BBs on the face. This neighborhood we are in about a quarter mile up the hill from the Caribbean Sea. We have seen partial roofs fall all up in this area, vegetation pulled up in the mountainside. All of this flooding coming down these hills. Unfortunately, the roads are going to be impassable getting into Montego Bay because of this wind activity, as you can see. I cannot imagine how afraid everyone is in Montego. We've gotten visuals from that area and none of it looks good. The same thing with the southwest end of the coast right now. People are in shelters across Jamaica. The emergency crews would like to get into these scenarios, but right now we can't do anything. These are Category 4 force winds making their way through Montego, at least Category 2 at this point, and this is going to be a crisis when all these winds pass here, and first responders and government officials and aid groups are going to try to make their way into Montego to try to help not only the Jamaicans, nearly 3 million residents here, but all the tourists that are stranded. It's going to be tough because the highway, or the two-lane road down there, is going to be covered with power poles and debris. The west side of this island is just taking it as hard as it comes with this historic storm here.
Pause.
Tonight it will exit Jamaica and head up to Cuba, Turks and Caicos, and the Bahamas. Godspeed, Jamaica, as we all try to hunker down here and get through this. Brett.
Robert Ray, live in St. Ann Parish in Jamaica. Robert, stay safe. Weather in that Category 5 will check in.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click.
Shit is crazy. Anybody, loved one, got caught up? Are you in Jamaica? Did you experience the storm? How was it for you? Drop it in the chat. If you're watching the replay, put it in the comment.
As you push past the cloud into the eye of the storm, the terrifying scale becomes clear to see. Hurricane Melissa has just made landfall in Jamaica. The Category 5 storm has brought 185-mile-an-hour winds. 1 metre of rainfall is expected to fall in the mountains, and a storm surge of 4 metres will hit the coast. All the ingredients for the most powerful storm to make landfall in Jamaica since records began. As the eye of the storm hit the southwest coast of the island, authorities issued their final warning.
In that eye wall, which is that area that surrounds the eye, you will have that most intense wind speeds, but also the most torrential downpours of rainfall. So that area will pass from the coast right across as the eye moves. Of course, that is the protective area for the eye that moves along with it, all the way from the southwest of Jamaica to the north central part of the island.
At the moment, one of the worst hit areas is Black River in the southwest of the island. They're used to storms here, but not of this magnitude. In poorer rural areas like this, roofs are often made out of corrugated iron. They're not built to withstand this. Satellite images from yesterday show the vast scale of the storm, moving slowly.
Damn, you see that?
There were concerns people weren't heeding the calls to evacuate. This was the situation in the capital, Kingston.
I'm here because I'm not afraid of the storm, because Jesus is my refuge and my strength. In the time
Can't stand there and use common sense.
of trouble, so I'm out here. In spite of Melissa is coming and heading towards Jamaica.
What is to be, we can't stop it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta take what you get, right?
But Marlon, the manager of Rockers International Record Shop, wasn't taking any chances.
As you can see, we're right there in the storm, buttoning up, getting prepared and everything. Everybody's a little bit on the edge because we never really experienced a Category 5 before, much less at this magnitude. So, yeah, all of us are a little bit worried.
Towards the end of the hurricane season, this is unprecedented. The World Meteorological Organization say it will be the storm of the century for Jamaica.
The fact that Melissa rapidly intensified, it grew from a tropical storm to a Category 4 within 24 hours. That's due to the extremely warm seawaters where Melissa is hovering over. It gets to draw all that energy out of the extremely warm ocean. We say that hurricanes are getting wetter. Well, Melissa is a prime example of that. These storms are getting more intense. Well, here you have a Category 5 event. These storm surges are getting higher. It's everything that Melissa is showing is in the line of what we know of what climate change is doing with hurricanes.
With power outages and phone lines reported to be down in some parts of the island, those in the UK with family in Jamaica are anxiously waiting for updates. Back in Black River, people are sheltering in the hospital, hoping it can keep them safe. But forecasters warn the worst is yet to come.
Well, our weather presenter Liam Dutton is here. Liam, why is this one so bad?
Well, Matt,
The Caribbean's used to seeing hurricanes at this time of year, but this one is particularly bad because it's slow-moving in nature. Now, typically, hurricanes have a forward speed of around 10 to 15 miles per hour. But at one point, this hurricane, as you can see here on the satellite picture, it was stationary. It wasn't even moving at all.
How does that happen?
I know. And even 48 hours, since then, it's only been moving at around 5 miles per hour. So why is that significant? Well, it's significant because it means it spends longer over the places that it hits. And that means that they get more prolonged spells of torrential rain. It increases the flood risk. You get a longer storm surge and you get more devastating winds. So it just prolongs the impacts that these places see when storms like this tend to sweep in.
And how is a storm like this affected by climate change?
Well, as we know, climate change is warming our oceans.
Responsible. Just to put a number on that, once this hurricane goes through, it is like...
The Brogard want him to make any statement since the hurricane? Oh, here you go.
And good evening. As we come on the air tonight, one of the strongest hurricanes ever recorded barreling through the Caribbean. Jamaica slammed with the full force of the monster Cat 5. Melissa roaring ashore there this afternoon, packing life-threatening winds and rain. And look at these flooded street roads completely inundated as raging waters rush in. The warning from officials tonight, displaced crocodiles could be lurking in the water, and that is not a joke. Moments ago, the Prime Minister of Jamaica telling Top Story tonight his biggest concern is damage done to multiple hospitals. You can see that roof ripped apart on this one, the full scope of the devastation and potential loss of life on the island, not yet in full view. The Prime Minister also telling us it's still too dangerous for search and rescue teams to go out. We'll have that full conversation with the Prime Minister straight ahead. 25,000 tourists, though, still trapped on the island, some barricading themselves in hotel ballrooms like this. Melissa's next targets, Cuba, then the Bahamas, both bracing for direct hits. We have full team coverage tonight. Our reporter live in the storm zone and our meteorologist Al Roker standing by to time it all out. But we begin tonight in Jamaica, where NBC's George Solis is in the storm zone.
Tonight, a devastating direct hit. Melissa slamming into Jamaica as a catastrophic Category 5 hurricane, pummeling the island with 185-mile-an-hour winds and torrential rain. The monster storm unleashing raging floodwaters and life-threatening storm surge, tearing roofs from homes and knocking out power for hundreds of thousands. This was the terrifying scene inside a hospital as Melissa ripped through. Tonight, officials cautioning people to avoid flooded areas where crocodiles may lurk.
Kingston may have been spared the worst of Melissa, but we are still experiencing those strong tropical force storm winds.
Before Melissa's historic landfall, officials had this dire final warning.
Don't bet against Melissa. It is a bet we can't win.
Melissa roared ashore midday in New Hope on the southwestern coast before slicing across the island to the resorts of Montego Bay.
Unfortunately, it's here.
It's here.
Wind has been pretty gnarly this morning.
Officials say some 25,000 tourists are stranded.
We were advised to put one of our mattresses on the window and barricade it with the tables that we have in the room.
People staying at this Montego Bay hotel were evacuated to the ballroom, where they rode out the storm huddled together on the floor.
Yeah, the beach is just devastated.
Christina and Tony Malscioti were in Negril celebrating their 10th anniversary. Like many tourists, they scrambled to try and get out before airports closed, but their flight was canceled, leaving them stranded.
It was horrific. It was absolutely terrifying. And I think it was more for the fear of not knowing. I've broken down several times just crying. I don't want to end my life here.
Melissa,
That cliche make it sound like Jamaica or a space ever. Not saying you don't want to where you come from, but say I don't want to end my life here.
tying the record for the strongest Atlantic storm to ever.
Hold on, I have to play about it.
Fear of not knowing. I've broken down several times just crying. I don't want to end my life here.
Melissa tying the record for the strongest Atlantic storm to ever make landfall. This was the reaction from our meteorologist at NBC6 in Miami, getting an update on the storm's unbelievable strength live on air.
Oh, my Jesus Christ.
The storm so dangerous, a Hurricane Hunter flight gathering data had to turn back for the second day in a row. Evacuations are now underway in Cuba, which is bracing for impact. While here in Jamaica, it could take weeks to fully assess the full scope of Melissa's devastation.
These whipping winds expected to be with us through tonight. Now, Jamaican officials hope that they are able to assess the nation's airports tomorrow, both the one in Montego Bay and here in Kingston, to start some of those relief flights and bring help to those areas that have been devastated by Hurricane Melissa. Tom?
George Solis for us tonight. George, thank you. Let's get right over to Al Roker. Al, Hurricane Melissa now one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes on record, stronger than Hurricane Katrina. Walk us through what you're watching right now and where it is.
Well, look for direct impact in Jamaica. You see where Mr. Bro God him I say, you know.
Destruction in the corridor.
Hold on, start it from the beginning there. Hit the like button if you can, if you enjoy the stream. Get some more people in here and have a conversation.
About the impact of Hurricane Melissa and the status of his people. Prime Minister Holness, we thank you for taking the time to speak with us and update us on how your people are doing tonight. How is it right now in Jamaica?
Well, Jamaica has sustained a major impact from a Category 5 hurricane, one of the strongest hurricanes to have hit Jamaica, and certainly within the top 10 strongest hurricanes recorded. The corridor of damage is significant. We have lost hospitals. Certainly, our road infrastructure would have been damaged, which would include bridges, gullies, and waterways. The housing infrastructure would have been severely impacted in the corridor that the hurricane traveled. The hurricane hit the southwestern end of the island and crossed the island going northwards, and it should be now leaving the island, but behind it is a trail of destruction in the corridor of impact.
Prime Minister, I pick up that you're speaking in the past tense. Is that because you already know some of this, or you haven't been able to get communication because all that communication has been knocked out?
Well, you know, when you're hit by a Category 5 hurricane, it's highly unlikely that you will be able to have communications uninterrupted. So in some parts of the island, communication is down. Electricity would be down as well, some preemptively. But we are still able to keep contact right across Jamaica. So what I'm giving you would be the summary of reports to date, to this point.
Is it fair to say, because the hurricane is still over Jamaica, you truly have no sense of how bad the damage is right now?
And it was big doing, man, blood.
No, we are getting reports. We're getting assessment through our National Emergency Operation Committee. So we do have a sense of what the damage is, but clearly it would only be after the passage of the hurricane and it is safe to conduct proper damage assessment that we will see the full picture. But the picture right now suggests that damage within the corridor of impact is significant.
What has been the most concerning report you've gotten so far from anyone out there in Jamaica?
Well, the impact on our hospital system in the areas that have been impacted, at least 2 or 3 hospitals have been severely damaged. Clearly, impact on our road infrastructure. We have seen landslides and rivers retaking their original courses and destroying property along their banks. And of course, the loss of roofs and housing.
Have you gotten any reports about any loss of life, or is it simply too early?
Well, we have confirmed 3 lives lost before the impact of the hurricane, before landfall of the hurricane. And those persons were, by all reports, taking precautionary actions in cutting through trees and removing debris, and were the victims of accidents, unfortunately. So far, we have not had confirmed reports of any deaths, but again, it's too soon to say that there are no deaths.
What is your understanding of Montego Bay right now? There were many people who were unable to leave Jamaica that were there, I should say, on vacation, and were essentially trapped. They're at the resorts right now in those ballrooms. Have you had communication with any of those hotels? Do you understand how those tourists are doing?
I've had a preliminary report from the Minister of Tourism, who would have given an assessment that some hotels were damaged, that there is damage to our airport. I can't say to what extent, but we have a fairly...
Please just don't fix fee hotel and the big foreign business them place on roadway first. Please help the citizen first, just like when I did out there in a ghetto and every hood a campaign. Go do the same thing once on the face in a ghetto and the hood and everywhere else. I help the people them too. Get on the hands dirty too and show we.
Robust response plan, and the tourism industry is always prepared, knowing that we are in this zone where we could be impacted by hurricanes. So I know that they're doing the best they can, and that the provisions will be made to ensure that our guests and Jamaicans alike are in a safe place at this time.
We're seeing video of roofs ripped off buildings and hearing reports of people stranded by the floodwaters. Give us an update on the status of search and rescue operations. Have those started, or is it still too dangerous?
It's still too dangerous to do search and rescue. I've had a few reports of our fire brigade conducting some rescue operations on land, but they would have to make the assessment. From a policy perspective, we have given a directive that during the hurricane, we should, as best as possible, protect our response assets and respond to the most extreme emergency for which the judgment is there would be the possibility of a favorable outcome.
Have you been in touch with President Trump or the American government?
Oh, I've received a message from Secretary of State Rubio, and not just the United States, but we've had contact with most of the international community, for which we are grateful. We do intend to mount right after this, the hurricane has passed and it's safe to do so, a credible relief and recovery response, and we would be grateful for support to augment this response so that we can recover even better and stronger than before.
Can you share what Secretary of State Marco Rubio told you? Did they promise aid would come into Jamaica or some type of assistance?
Well, the commitment of the United States would be to support in whatever way they can, whatever way we see fit, and the areas in which we see that we would need assistance. Secretary of State and the President of the United States have always been good to us, and we've always been good and strong partners with the United States. So we're confident that whatever assistance they can render and whatever assistance we deem necessary, there would be a great effort to have that fulfilled.
Do you have any sense of what you're going to need first, whether it be water, food, electrical infrastructure?
Well, you know, the immediate humanitarian response can always be augmented with food, immediate shelter, medicines, those kinds of things. That will be covered in the next 10 days, obviously. But the real help will be in the rebuilding of the infrastructure so we can get our economy back on track and so that we can rebuild a more resilient economy.
And rebuild the economy, not mean that the people in life help them
to withstand these more frequent and intense weather events, which is a feature of a changing climate.
Do you have any idea what Jamaica is going to look like tomorrow?
That's a difficult question to answer. To put it at scale,
Good answer.
The entire Jamaica was affected by this hurricane, but some areas were more affected. So of our 14 parishes, I expect that 4 of them would have severe damage, and that would be those parishes in the southwestern end of the island. So we're looking at St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, St. James, Trelawney. And then there might be some impacts on Hanover and Mandeville. In the eastern end of the island, we're seeing some damage done in St. Thomas. But generally, there would be an impact right across the island. Roofs would be damaged, roads would be damaged. There would be flooding and landslides. But the concentration would be in that corridor where the hurricane hit.
And then finally, Prime Minister, what is your biggest concern at this hour?
Well, the biggest concern is that residents remain calm, that they stay indoors. I know the impact of the hurricane can be frightening, but now it's not the time for us to lose our presence of mind. So I appeal to all the residents to stay in and stay safe. We will, at some point, issue the all clear. and then we will mount the recovery and relief response to clear the roads, to make contact with communities that have been marooned, to provide the humanitarian relief, and to assist people with the rebuilding of their homes and businesses.
Prime Minister, we thank you for your time. We will be praying and thinking about the people of your
prayers, and I thank the people of the United States who have reached out to us and prayed for us. Thank you.
And as we continue to track Hurricane Melissa, thousands of tourists unable to get out in time are still stranded on the island nation. That includes Melanie Reynolds from Long Island, New York. She's currently sheltering at her hotel in Montego Bay. She joins us live by phone because the internet is down across much of the island, as you can imagine. Melanie, I'm
on the airway, Prime Minister says so. So, same as how then that go to get on a vote, also then when you see them a go out to help fix up on the road, clear street, and hold all the politicians them accountable. But if you don't know where you pass, you can't know where you go. And based on even how some of them shelter you did that operate, where people don't no cotton, no food, have very low expectation of getting your light, your water, your internet back quick. The only way you get it back quick if these places start lose money where they must say, yo, people are not light for 2 months, 3 months, them not get no money and it impact them bottom line. When them do them start reporting and whatever. So don't let them use us no pan. Alright, let's move on. Cause we're glad we get some foreign news to get unbiased opinions. Because sometimes Jamaican think them bias. This was
Welcome to the News Hour. Jamaica is suffering extensive.
And if you can hit the like button and let in some more people. Manners and respect, big up yourself wherever you're listening from, and I hope everybody, family members are safe and whatnot. Yeah, help how you can help and be more emotionally there how you can.
Damage tonight from the devastating force of Hurricane Melissa. Easily the most powerful storm on Earth this year, and just the second Atlantic storm ever to make landfall with winds up to 185 miles an hour.
Melissa has already claimed 7 lives across the Caribbean, including 3 in Jamaica. And the storm is slow moving, meaning its punishing impact will only last longer. William Brangham starts our coverage.
It's a storm, the likes of which Jamaica has never seen in its recorded history. Melissa made landfall this afternoon across western Jamaica as a monster Category 5 hurricane with winds of 185 miles per hour.
That's what the system is packing as a Category 5 hurricane. And much of that will be within the eye wall. In that eye wall, which is that area that surrounds the eye, you will have that most intense wind speeds, but also the most torrential downpours of rainfall.
Forecasters and local officials warned that parts of the island devastated.
All right, we kind of didn't know that before. I want to see what happened after.
The minister warned that nothing on the island could escape this storm.
There is no infrastructure in the region that can withstand a Category 5. A Category 5 hurricane will definitely damage roofs. It will definitely compromise.
All right, this looked like it was all news. Melissa hurricane strike.
We do have landfall. Jared just said, you guys can confirm that? I assume we have landfall, according to Jared Maloney behind the camera right now, who just shouted that out. By the way, our team is inside of earlier today, and we'll try to show that again as situation.
So the must have sent and did have landfall.
Interiors, but what I was saying earlier, gentlemen, is okay. We are about 50 miles to the east of Montego Bay, and where all those resorts are. You know, so many people, and we got official word actually from the tourism minister and his people that there are 25,000 visitors in Jamaica right now. That's a lot of people that couldn't get out of the airports before all of this started to happen this weekend. And so they're very concerned, and they're telling us that they are making sure that the priority is that everyone is safe in those resorts. But certainly with these winds and this activity about to head up into Jamaica and into Montego, there's going to be major issues. Boy, this is a pretty good gust that we got here right now with some blowing, driving rain. As a matter of fact, I think it's blowing into the garage that the team is in right now, unfortunately. And so we are expecting mass power outages. We have up to 40% of the island right now with no power and mobile service as far as data, cell phones. Last update 2 hours ago was 25% of comms were already down. So flying debris is going to occur.
All right, let's see some, if you're showing up. I got chatting, you want to see where landfall there. All right, you never show up. Where's the receipt? All right, let me do the last hour. Interesting.
Hurricane Melissa has made landfall in Jamaica as a powerful Category 5 storm with sustained winds of 185 miles per hour. It is the strongest storm to lash the island since record-keeping began 174 years ago. Robert Ray of Fox Weather is on St. Ann Parish in Jamaica tonight. Robert, good evening.
Good evening to you, Brett, and everyone watching from north central Jamaica here as we are taking hurricane force winds coming through after the category.
All right, we did watch Robert already. We want to see where damage them there. You know, I'm going to put damage. Hurricane. Yeah, we spell hurricane. Melissa. Damages in sweet Jamaica. God, yo. Hurricane Melissa damage in Black River. Black River not good again. This is St. Elizabeth Parish, Jamaica.
Yeah, this is St. Anne's.
Okay, I have an update on her.
Yeah, this is St. Anne's Parish, and this is the inside of the home that we rented and we reported from. I'm just going to see, look at all the debris on the ground. This is from trees, all of our supplies. This is food and water and things that we have here right now. And Jared Maloney, meteorology field producer behind the camera. Pete, photojournalist. We've got the camera kind of tucked over here so that we can keep things as safe as possible in case another gust comes through and sends out furniture or debris into this home. And you know what? perhaps the most important, our security team, gentlemen from Major Crown Security, and the name of your security. Transportation. There you go. These gentlemen are Jamaicans and they know this country. We have been through a lot with them today, and I can't thank you guys enough. And we're going to be going through a lot in the coming days, guys. And you are from Montego Bay, and is your family okay?
Yeah, they're okay, but I'm worried about the damage to property and assets and stuff like that.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
We need to get there tomorrow and see what's happening.
Absolutely. That's our plan. That's our mission tomorrow. 50 miles away, Montego Bay to the west. That's where we're going to go. And we have a Starlink, and you can hear the glass in the back. We have a Starlink that we will hopefully transmit these images out to try to get aid into here and get people into safety, Jamaicans and the tourists as well. But we're going to carefully walk upstairs real quick, guys. Because I want to show you the second floor of this home, a beautiful home that is in shambles. Be careful because this is all very, very wet, and we're going to have to go very careful. I've got this torch. This will help light us. Jared, let's walk up. You could hear the fury, unfortunately, still happening. We taped up the windows on the house. Clearly, that has helped so far, at least right here. But wait till you see this situation. You may not believe your eyes, unfortunately. The winds are so strong and came in with such fury.
Bumbo.
Yeah, this is St. Anne's Parish, and this is the
Imagine if you sit down on near side of wind or something.
inside of the home that we rented and we reported from. I'm just going to give you a tour of some of the damage. I've got a very intense cell phone with a torch on this, and look at this, guys. These are the winds, and by the way, this has been going on for hours, and you see the destruction here right now. The entire porch and all the sliding doors blown out. That's a pool out there, but come a little closer, and we're going to be safe when we give you this tour. Believe it or not, these winds are actually less than what we've experienced in the past few hours, so this is the only time we can actually show you all the damage here, and the sounds and the audio from Hurricane Melissa here have just been remarkable. The fury.
Okay, I have an update on Hurricane Melissa as of the 11 o'clock National Hurricane. Off to the north-northeast at around 9, so that's slightly faster, and it's about 40 miles still very.
New video from Jamaica shows some of the effects of Hurricane Melissa. This video from
Yo, it looked like I said this was a river and people put down house on the river.
Kingston shows flooded roads in the eastern part of the island. Now, it's important to note that part of the country was spared from the worst impacts. Areas on the western side of the island were hit the hardest. That includes Montego Bay, Negril, and many of the popular tourist areas. It could be a few days before we know the extent of the damage. New video.
Crazy work.
Hi everyone, it's just a quick update from Kingston. It is currently
Alright.
Could an excavator bucket stop a bullet? I'm gonna shoot this.
Motherfucker keep me on Melissa, what's wrong with you? You wanna see them flooding there? That's no ABC.
Images that are coming in. Flooding and storm surge ahead. A meteorologist. I want to show you what this looks like on the ground, though, in Jamaica. Rainfall from Hurricane Melissa is already causing the Plantain Garden River there in
St. Thomas.
Stunning Hill, St. Thomas, Jamaica, to overflow into its banks. That is the southeast tip of the country. Residents there are being urged to remain cautious as these rising waters continue to pose a flooding risk in this area. And then also taking now to Kingston area. This is the flat bridge. We've been watching this all day long. You can see a live image on your right, but on the left.
Flat bridge, and a Kingston flat bridge, right?
That is before this storm came through, and that's a really important image because if you don't know that, then you're looking at this after and you're thinking, okay, it's just a river. No, there was a bridge there. People were driving on it as of last night, so a lot of flooding, a lot of water already surging in that area. And then finally in Red Hills, I want to take you here. This is the same parish as Kingston, St. Andrew's Parish. This is a very mountainous area, so that is the other concern that we've been talking about all morning is landslides as this rain just starts coming down. There's really, really heavy wind speeds as well. When there's 30 plus inches of rain coming down, I mean, that is when landslides are definitely a possibility. This is just a very potentially devastating and dangerous storm system. From drivable to completely covered in water, the storm surge is beginning in Jamaica as Hurricane Melissa gets closer and closer to making landfall. Being captured from above, its lightning-packed center spinning ferociously.
We have been praying.
All people can do now is pray and prepare for this historic Category 5 storm. That included clearing drains, gullies, and waterways in the days ahead to minimize flooding risk. But now, as 15 to 30 inches of rain comes down, it's almost unavoidable. Catastrophic flash flooding is expected, along with landslides and damaging winds.
I don't believe there is any infrastructure within this region that could withstand a Category 5 storm.
Jamaica's prime minister says they are prepared to help in the immediate aftermath, but he worries about the long-term impacts Melissa will have on this island nation. And there were already power outages being reported earlier this morning across Jamaica before Melissa officially even makes landfall. That is expected to get significantly worse this afternoon, those power outages into tonight. So it might be tough to be getting updated images out of the region without signal. From what we are already seeing, though, Melissa looking to be just devastating there on the island. Also dangers for Cuba as well. I want to mention that is where it's heading next. Chris here.
Wow. See what more we can find.
Yeah, this.
Okay, I have an update on Hurricane Melissa as.
Alright, then I tried that with us. Watch. See if we can find anything else. Oh. Please. Seriously? Oh, that's the same live cam. Okay. God damn. Like my beer get hit terrible too. Look at all coconut tree tear off. Look. Shit was real.
Just hours ago, Hurricane Melissa made landfall as a Category 5 tourist. The powerful and already deadly storm is the strongest to ever hit the Caribbean island. The World Meteorological Organization is calling it Jamaica's storm of the century. Jason Allen is riding it out in the capital of Kingston.
Hurricane Melissa slammed into Jamaica with winds up to 185 miles per hour and heavy rains.
Today will be very difficult for tens of thousands, if not millions of people in Jamaica. Roofs will be tested, floodwater will rise, isolation will become a harsh reality for many.
The National Hurricane Center issued a dire warning. Within the eye wall, total structural failure is likely. This video U.S. Air Force hurricane hunters took inside the storm shows a massive wall of clouds.
Jamaica this is not the time to be brave. Don't bet against Melissa.
For days, government officials pleaded with people to find safe shelter outside of the strength of these winds. There are 8 teams that are on the ground here to assess the damage once the storm clears, and agencies that are ready to fly in supplies. Jamaicans living in the U.S. are watching the storm closely. Minneapolis restaurant owner Tommy Beavis says he's been in constant communication with family and friends back home.
They've been doing a good job stocking up on food, and we're just hoping that they have enough. And then the aftermath of the hurricane, with the flooding, with the devastation, we're hoping that they will have the resources for the immediate recovery as well as the long-term rebuilding.
Melissa's next target, Cuba. Authorities there say they've already evacuated more than 500,000 people from low-lying areas.
So far, 3 deaths in Haiti and 1 in the Dominican Republic are being blamed on Melissa. In Jamaica, a few people died preparing for the storm, some falling off roofs while boarding them up.
People die? Oh, yes, sir. How many years have no death?
We begin tonight with the latest bulletin on where Hurricane Melissa is going next.
Oh, I hear boy.
Just
I never hear about nobody dead. Anybody in our chat here, if anybody died, put it in our chat there. Okay, on the ground, blah, blah. Let's see this one.
The latest with Hurricane Melissa. You're looking at Roxanne Hutchinson. She is a surveillance operator for the Ministry of National Security. And Roxanne, I understand you have just lost power. You are in Black River, Jamaica.
Flooding because we're along the shoreline, and as a lot of these areas in the Black River State has already started flooding. So a lot of persons here, we do have more on a concrete structure side. There's not much in my community. There's not much zinc roofs, but hearing that you can remove even the concrete structure, it's very nerve-wracking. But the flooding is our most concerns right now.
Yeah, this storm is moving at only a few miles per hour. It will dump multiple feet of rain in the next day. So what is the strategy come sunrise? Are there protocols in place to help people on the island? Because, of course, with the electricity out, communication will also be tough.
Well, we have the fire department along with the police force. They're out there doing their best to kind of get persons in. We have storm shelters available. So we're kind of just convincing persons, because some of these persons, they don't want to leave home. So we're just kind of getting persons to get into these storm shelters. We have many organizations.
All right, we kind of over a part where before, so we want to see mostly after.
Feeling out there?
A lot of wind, yeah. I would liken the level of wind right now to some of the most intense periods of Hurricane Beryl last year. Not a lot of rain at the moment, but Kingston is much more east, and as you know, the storm is going to make landfall in the west. So right.
Okay, the previous streams we were doing before, we want to say latest after effects. Montego Bay, Jamaica as Hurricane Melissa make landfall. Okay. Oh, this was just a live cam. Yeah, this was just a live cam. Where the after videos at? Let's see this.
Now, live pictures right now from Montego Bay on the
80 miles east of where Melissa came on shore here in Jamaica. And it's been several hours now, right? And still, look at the conditions that we are experiencing this far from landfall. Extremely gusty winds, heavy rain, or maybe it's sea spray. It's hard for us to tell at this point. And this storm is
tens of thousands, if not millions of people in Jamaica. Roofs will be tested, floodwater will rise.
Okay, well, we see this. This look crazy.
Roofs will be tested, floodwater will rise. Isolation will become a harsh reality for many.
The National Hurricane Center issued a dire warning. Within the eyewall, total structural failure is likely. This video U.S. Air Force hurricane hunters took inside the storm shows a massive wall of clouds.
Jamaica, this is not the time to be brave. Don't bet against Melissa.
For days, officials here pleaded with residents to get to shelters or buildings that can withstand the winds and flooding. Aid teams are standing by to get to work as soon as it's safe. Others are ready to fly in supplies. Jamaicans living in the U.S. are watching the storm closely. Minneapolis restaurant owner Tommy Beavis says he's been in.
As I talk about that, it seems to me like more people abroad did more worried for people living in Jamaica, which is crazy to me. After you have example of Haiti and Dominican Republic.
Constant communication with family and friends back home.
They've been doing a good job stocking up on food, and we're just hoping that they have enough, and then the aftermath of the hurricane, with the flooding, with the devastation, we're hoping that they will have the resources for the immediate recovery as well as the long-term rebuilding.
Melissa's next target, Cuba. Authorities there say they've already evacuated more than 500,000 people from low-lying areas. You know, when this storm came on shore, it actually dropped in strength just a little bit, about 20 miles per hour. But, you know, it doesn't make a difference in places like this, where this is probably the strongest impact from the storm that we've seen yet, and it continues here in these late afternoon hours. There are international aid groups who are here, but they got to wait till all of this passes until they can get out and start doing the work that they're here to do.
And Jason, we know Jamaica obviously relies on tourism for its economy. Some people were not able to get out of Jamaica, so they are hunkering down in those hotels. What's that been like as far as the protocol for these hotels to keep all these visitors safe throughout this?
You know, they try to keep the people who are there as long as they can, right? They keep them safely. Most of these hotels have enough food on hand to.
Yesterday still have to pay too, so one like say hotel them now still make money. And they wouldn't even give some of the people in my Jamaica a couple of free room to in a certain area. And they're close to them.
Keep people fed for several days. Many of them have backup generators, but you know they offer as much service as they can, you know, or as long as they can until people are able to get out. A storm like this one, it could be a while. This is probably not something that, depending where the resorts are, that people are going to be able to get out even tomorrow.
All right, Jason Allen live for us near Kingston in Portmore, Jamaica. Thank you. We'll check back with you again in an hour.
Drug thing. Bombo. You. Are we part of that?
Look over here. Look what is in the vessel. What is in there? Don't look over there. See there?
Ferocious winds and relentless rain have brought Jamaica to its knees today, as Category 5, Hurricane Melissa continues to tear across the island, leaving behind a path of destruction not seen.
And hit the like button if you enjoy the stream. Yeah, and if you haven't hit subscribe, remember to hit the notification button. This is YAAD VIBEZ, where YAAD is supporting YAAD, where I try to build the most common sense channel in our diaspora, the people's channel. Big up yourself wherever you're from. You there work, you watch a replay, whatever it is. Big up yourself. Stay safe.
In generations. Making landfall near New Hope around 1 o'clock this afternoon, Melissa struck with sustained winds of 185 miles per hour, the strongest hurricane to ever hit Jamaica in recorded history.
300 kilometers per hour, that's like a Ferrari coming at you full speed.
This marks the first time the nation has taken a direct hit from a Category 5 storm. prompting Prime Minister Andrew Holness to warn that the island is facing catastrophic damage.
Look there, not only you get water with force. On top of that, you get wind. Man. Carry them a flood out. Like I want gas station. Gas station sign tear down. Whole oasis. This is a place I thought in a river.
Within hours of landfall, the full force of Melissa became clear. Roads across western Jamaica disappeared beneath fast-moving floodwaters. Entire bridges collapsed, and communication lines fell silent as power grids failed under the intense strain. The eye of the hurricane passed directly over western parishes, including Hanover and Westmoreland, while coastal towns such as Negril and Savannah Lamar were pummeled by hurricane-force winds that tore the roofs from homes and sent debris flying through the air like shrapnel.
Yo. This every day, I do want to see it for all night. Like a western,
in Negril, resident Byron Pierce
western part of Jamaica turning a river.
Described being trapped inside his second-floor apartment with water seeping through every possible crack. He said he had tried to block the door with sandbags, but the force of the wind and water made it useless. "The water is still coming in under my door," he said, his voice trembling over the phone. "What scares me most is not the flooding. It's that I haven't been able to reach my mother and sister. The phone lines are down. I just hope they're okay."
What people start learning lesson now when them hear sitting and stop listening to madness and conspiracy theories. Yes, a hurricane come and you see evidence where do at Cuba. I mean, where do a Haiti and where do a Dominican Republic and still out there talk about one bunch of nonsense. And not take no precaution. Crazy. Rooftop a tear off.
Kuzinka fly.
May I see it, brother?
You don't play a thing in a man.
Thanks for the video.
Play.
Reports of widespread internet outages are pouring in, with the northwest parish of Hanover registering only 2% network connectivity at one point today. Across other regions, connections fluctuate between half capacity
The water
and
that they
near
bust
total
down a
blackout.
concrete to blood plate.
I road that people from Burton, I road that.
That road no good again.
This is the road. Have mercy, God, you all up.
Blood plate. If you know a good structure and see this a come at you, man, it's supposed to tremble. Mother Nature take over.
Thanks guys.
This works when nature take over.
According to Jamaica's National Works Agency, major highways and smaller rural roads have been washed away, isolating entire communities. In the south, parts of Kingston and St. Catherine are facing dangerous flash flooding, with some residents seen wading through chest-deep water to reach higher ground.
Bro. God damn. You see that shit? This is crazy work. That like some type of hotel or villa or something.
Meteorologists say Melissa is unlike any storm in Jamaica's modern history. Experts warn that rainfall...
Show that already.
Across the island, the sounds of the storm are constant. The howling of the wind, the crash of falling trees, and the distant rumble of collapsing structures. Principal
Oh, the McClap boy. I want to carry that. I want to carry that. Car, like I come, like I go through one car crash.
Where you go? If we take the car, obviously, I'm...
Oh, they like that. Then when you want river, it look like.
Move. Oh, we are going to go. And the car them say they're going to go. Walk your dog. That's a deep. So you know how we are going to deep. That's how we got the sound.
Tragically, at least 3 people have died during storm preparations in Jamaica.
3 people dead? 3 people dead at Haiti too?
2 from falling trees and another from electrocution.
What?
While 13 others have been injured. Melissa has also claimed lives in Haiti and the Dominican Republic, bringing the confirmed death toll across the Caribbean to at least 7.
Hurricane come like you look for root up everything. Welcome to YAAD VIBEZ. This is YAAD supporting YAAD, the people's channel. Yeah, enjoy stream and you want to hit the like button, send out more people in the algorithm. Wow. Come like a whole western and Jamaica turning now a river to blood clean.
The danger in Jamaica isn't only from wind and water. Officials have issued a separate warning about displaced crocodiles along flood-prone areas in Kingston, St. Thomas, and St. Catherine. The heavy rains have forced these animals out of their habitats and into flooded neighborhoods, posing an additional risk to residents. Authorities are urging people to stay indoors. Keep Despite the chaos, efforts to maintain communication and coordinate relief are underway. Some residents have managed to stay online through satellite-based services such as Starlink, which remains operational in limited parts of the island. Andrew Williams, a resident of Kingston, said he has been using his Starlink connection to help monitor local hospitals, describing the city as completely dark except for the occasional flash of lightning.
This is in Barbican. Fuck them.
But what then on the road that they do and them here say hurricane bring whole power water and something. What wrong with them? Look how much of them dip on the road all over yesterday, so. Why? Big old elf, you know. Idiots.
The Jamaica Public Service Company reports that more than 1/3 of its customers, roughly 1 million people, are without power tonight. Crews are standing by but cannot begin repair operations until conditions improve. Transmission lines and substations have sustained extensive damage from fallen trees and lightning.
Damn. What about people that don't doing a bike and so much care? I can't get off guard with the amount of warning we are going on. The amount of get off the street, this will be dangerous. What could I make you know what to do? Something I wrong with blood clot Jamaican people, man, I tell you. So I'm going to carry one Bex, so I'm going to such an element. See it how you go, I'm going to carry over feelings, want to get hurt. Don't stay around here. Enough blood clot Jamaican a chat pan and feelings when me feel. Nobody care what you feeling. What are the facts? Where's the truth? If he say nah, go come in.
Government
If he say
officials
nah,
have
go
already
hit.
begun coordinating with international partners for emergency aid. The United Nations has prepositioned supplies in Barbados and Panama, ready to deliver more than 2,000 humanitarian.
Power line drop off.
Respect for you give them, guys.
At Norman Manley International Airport, emergency relief flights could resume by October 30th, provided the runways are intact. The Jamaican government is also coordinating food relief through partnerships with organizations.
And 185 miles per hour. And one of them is zinc and licky, and man, chop it clean off in a half, like a razor blade,
Such as World Central Kitchen, which has prepared thousands of hot meals for distribution once it is safe to do so.
Experience Ivan, but Ivan never saw rough a blood clot. Which hurricane you experience in your live chat? Hit the like button too if you can get more people in here. This was nothing to play with. Let's see what the polar say.
As night falls over Jamaica, Hurricane Melissa continues to unleash punishing rain and hurricane-force winds across much of the island. Rivers have overflowed their banks, Landslides have cut off access to mountain communities, and emergency shelters are nearing capacity. Many residents are enduring the storm in complete darkness, waiting for updates from the government and praying for the safety of loved ones they can no longer reach.
Yeah, enough people can't reach them family members, but you have to remember, say, and it might take a while too. Another thing, nobody can check on them because the road them block. You can't get through to your people because there's no light, there's no internet, so much things. So can't too over worry and stress yourself neither. Just think positive, you know.
It's a good thing the light gone. Exactly.
I'm trying to turn off your breaker, but good thing you like gone. What's wrong with
we're
you?
at risk of stuff so blowing in on us. And we're at risk of fire if the light come back. Exactly. See fire them there? Yeah, man, yeah, man.
By tomorrow, Melissa is expected to move north toward Cuba, where it is forecast to remain a major hurricane, possibly a strong Category 4, as it crosses the island and approaches the Bahamas. But for Jamaica, the devastation left behind will take months, if not years, to recover from. This will likely be the last time the name Melissa is ever used for an Atlantic hurricane, as officials are expected to retire it permanently after the unprecedented destruction it caused.
Give so close water video, look, water to roof height. Fireman up here do rescue work. People get trapped in a house.
Hold on. The water here cover
After
whole
the
house.
unprecedented destruction.
Give so close water video, look.
Man, the whole house to the roof to blood.
Height. Fireman up here do rescue work.
Nigga.
People get trapped in a house.
Yo, water cover the whole roof of your house. A gully that there?
I did grown about this one next house that we can't even see. But you can imagine.
Entire house get covered. That's some shit.
For Jamaicans, this storm will be remembered as a defining moment, a reminder of the island's resilience, its unity, and the fragility of life in the face of nature's most powerful forces. As emergency teams prepare to assess the damage once daylight returns, the world watches closely, sending thoughts, prayers, and aid to the people of Jamaica as they endure one of the most powerful hurricanes in history.
Man. You're rough. Sound like I'm in a hospital, you know.
Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.
Oh, thank you. That shit was crazy.
Now, live pictures.
Man. Yeah, I think the death toll are gonna be over 3. I them say just three people dead so far. RIP to them. Yeah, I would be so surprised if only 3 people dead from what me just see. Let's see, they wanna latest details of hurricane in Jamaica.
Parts of Jamaica are underwater tonight, and nearly 80% of the island nation is without power. The monstrous Hurricane Melissa sweeping across the island and then back out to sea. Right now, still too early to measure the toll of the storm, but authorities are bracing for the worst. Next in the storm's path is Cuba, where 280,000 people have already been evacuated to emergency shelters because Melissa's next landfall is just hours away. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm David Wade. It is now a Category 4 storm. The hurricane is still very capable of.
The monstrous Hurricane Melissa slamming into Jamaica and made landfall as one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes in history.
I'm still cautiously safe.
We checked in with Bill Thackeray from New Hampshire during the hurricane in Jamaica. The power was out and connection repeatedly cut. From the Jamaican Association of Massachusetts.
Life, that is the most.
Morning's team will be covering it starting at 5 tomorrow morning, or you can see updates anytime with the.
Can you imagine how some people live in a low line in some gully? I hope them people then move out of blood.
We begin tonight with this monster, this life power lines crashing down. Video circulating online tonight showing major damage to a hospital, metal and power line.
Can't stand the boy and vice versa, David Muir.
Hurricane Melissa right now a Category.
Tonight, families on the island nation of Jamaica in the eye of the storm, facing the strongest hurricane they've ever seen. Category 5 Melissa, packing 185-mile-an-hour winds, slamming ashore this afternoon near the town of New Hope in southwestern Jamaica. Local resident Daniel Barnes shooting these videos in St. Elizabeth Parish as Melissa made landfall, documenting the ferocious winds. Just listen. In Black River, videos circulating online showing major damage to the local hospital, sheet metal and power lines blocking the exit. Not far from there, boats running aground in Great Bay, wind and rain howling in the hills. Waves pushing walls of water on shore.
Take a look at this storm surge, 13 feet in some spots, affecting the entire southern coastline of Jamaica.
Authorities warning no infrastructure can survive these winds, begging everyone who didn't evacuate to stay put.
Jamaica, this is not the time to be brave.
Some areas could get up to 40 inches of rain.
Well, that of them it was a time to be stupid and dumb. Shout out to the common sense people of Jamaica.
Melissa cutting a path of destruction across the island all the way to Montego Bay. Hotels packing stranded tourists and staff into ballrooms and auditoriums.
They're starting to board up some glass doors.
Deborah Shields from Houston is stuck at her hotel outside Montego Bay.
Pray that we get home. Like at this point, at the end of the prayer, right before you say amen, say, I pray that they all can get a flight home.
U.S. Air Force hurricane hunters flying into Melissa, reporting they were forced to abort another mission. Authorities are now racing to move. As Melissa tears across Jamaica, Cuba is next. Authorities are now racing to move some 500,000 people to higher ground tonight.
David, the center of Melissa has now moved off the coast of Jamaica, but strong winds and storm surge persist. Damage assessments are
Also, I guess surge. Oh, and rainfall are going to bring storms. See, me say it's not even over, even though the hurricane gone.
Underway, and authorities are hoping they'll be able to reopen the main airport here in Kingston to start flying relief flights by Thursday. David?
All right, Ike Ajachi and the team there on Jamaica's island. Thank you for your coverage. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z. The latest track is in. Ginger, what do you see?
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll watch this all night. What's this?
We begin with powerful Hurricane Melissa making landfall in Jamaica. Let's bring in CBS News correspondent Jason Allen reporting. They're getting reports of, or is it still just too early?
Expect to face in any storm like this that it takes a long, long time potentially to move trees out of the way.
Yeah, we watch
move
that already.
power lines out of the way.
Watch some of my local video them, on the ground video them, like the last one there. Oh shit, no, they must say 7 people dead.
And we start with breaking news out of Jamaica as we take a live look at conditions in our quad box here. The storm has been downgraded to a Category 4 now that it's over land. The island getting pounded by Hurricane Melissa, the deadly storm making landfall as a Category 5 just after 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Saying 7 people died now?
And just look at the satellite footage there. You can see the defined eye of this monster
Excuse me.
storm. And look how intense conditions are from nearby Montego Bay. A coastal town here of Lucia, between Negril and Montego
Lucia, we
Bay.
say.
You see palm trees blowing under the force of wind, a whole lot of rain as well.
The storm had already left 3 people dead in Jamaica before Melissa's eye hit the island. It is the strongest Atlantic hurricane to make landfall since 2019, but this is the strongest direct hit to Jamaica since record-keeping began 174 years ago. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sheba Russell.
And I'm Jason Martinez. Right now, at least 7 people have been killed so far before Hurricane Melissa neared the coast. Communities reported landslides, fallen trees, power outages, but officials here say water remains the biggest threat there. Montego Bay officials hope that the last-minute measures that they took to prevent potential flooding will protect vulnerable areas.
We are at risk, existential risks, and we have to ensure that we have the necessary things in place to facilitate ourselves and to facilitate the weather that we have to experience from time to time.
Hurricane Melissa is expected to turn northeast and exit Jamaica as a Category 4. And Kathy, the storm, although it made landfall earlier today, it's been affecting the island for some time now.
Yes, because it was moving so slowly and it was so close. It is going to increase in forward speed, as you mentioned. But you can see as we follow the eye of the storm making landfall around 1 o'clock by afternoon.
We want to see the after
Here
effects.
on what's happening in Jamaica as we track.
Hurricane Melissa reached a Category 5 status this morning. The national hurricane likely to be the strongest expected. Residents have been cautioned to stay inside, and the Jamaican government already issued mandatory evacuations for several coastal communities, including parts of Kingston. Now, the U.S. is not expected to feel any direct threats from Melissa, although some parts of the East Coast could see rip currents and rough surf.
Enhancing the rainfall potential, Hurricane Melissa could bring more than 30.
This will definitely be something to remember. Alright, let's see the last hour. 30 minutes ago, okay. Then I play right as shit in and then copyright me already. Satellite shows Hurricane Melissa hit in Jamaica. Okay, 43 minutes ago.
And you're taking a live look tonight at several locations across Jamaica. Conditions improving now from.
Have been told to evacuate. We can show you the damage tonight. This is Jamaica. This is the city of Black River. You can just see the.
God damn. Look upon Black River.
Tonight. This is Jamaica. This is the city of Black River. You can just see the devastation as the camera pans there. The southwestern portion of Jamaica hit with the strongest winds here, leaving some communities just in shambles. And in some neighborhoods, police stations are being used now as emergency shelters.
And we have another look at the damage in Black River. The local hospital is reporting it has no power. In fact, the roof has significant damage. Crews are responding to that area, but so far there's no word on when substantial relief will reach that region.
And we have this look here at the extensive flooding in the area of St. Elizabeth Parish. Some areas completely inaccessible because of the water. Officials in Jamaica say the full extent of the damage won't be known until the sun comes up tomorrow.
Jamaica's gone through what I can call one of its worst periods. Our infrastructure has been severely compromised. St. Elizabeth is the breadbasket of the country, and that has taken a beating. The entire Jamaica has felt the brunt of Melissa.
And again, Cuba's next. So let's check in with meteorologist Heather Waldman. What is Melissa's status right now?
Well, it's still a major hurricane, Category 3 strength with winds of 130 miles per hour. And we're now 1, maybe 2 hours away from the second landfall within the past 24 hours here along the southern coast of eastern Cuba. You can clearly see the eye as it moves to the north. Kind of fell apart a little bit as it moved over Jamaica. That's to be expected as these hurricanes move over land. They're cut off.
More after effects. Okay, this is 1 hour ago. Now we have some action right here, so.
Now Shohei Ohtani shaped
act of parliament or legislature.
What the hell?
Wickedest hurricane for hit Jamaica. Evacuate and sends out.
We'll watch them there already.
Jamaican PM Andrew Holness has said that
Andrew Holness got to get some water for Jamaica. Yeah, respect all the people them who pass through. This is YAAD VIBEZ, the people's channel where YAAD is supporting YAADis. We are trying to get all the common sense people together in one place. Got too much idiot growing with misinformation and misled young youth them in Jamaica. So why do we clean up as a collective?
Yeah, we're live. Yeah, this.
Oh, this is just a brother live one place. Okay, like my call it tonight, we've been cooking for 3 hours. Many more lives to come in the future as videos, shots, everything. Yeah, I think we did more than enough tonight, right?
Hurricane Melissa has been upgraded to a...
Big up yourself, people, wherever you watch from. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight, you know. And I hope you was somewhat enlightened. Although nobody now participate in our chat, me still enjoy it. And see you next time. Peace.